Space News, February 28, 2024. Hello everyone, thank you for passing by my channel. I hope you are all happy and well today. I am Mari. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. The first piece of news for today is that the autochthons that were left here in representation of their main detachment, which left a month ago, are now conducting meetings with high-ranking Earth government, cabal leaders, and technology tycoons on the surface of Earth every Friday. As it was leaked to us, one of the main subjects of those meetings is genetic manipulation and medical technology. I can't go any deeper in this platform, you know why, but I'm quite sure that you can understand the meaning and the ramifications. It has become quite obvious and easy to see how it was that high-level extraterrestrial technology was given to the cabal to be later used against the people. This leads me to a related comment, as we understand things to be on Earth. After decades of research, not to say at least hundreds of years, we conclude that all politicians are under the control of the central cabal, and the ones who are playing a dissident role are paid to do so, and are only controlled opposition. I know this is no news for most of you out there listening to me, but I insist on this due to the appearance of new faces, and the return of older ones, in that arena. We see no exceptions to this, but as it has been said before, none of them could do anything without the compliance and obedience of the general population, although this is a very complicated subject which must not be taken lightly, because it is not fair for a handful of highly intelligent and conscious individuals there to compete with legions upon legions of soulless and mindless, non-player character people. Moving on, and still along those lines, laboratories on board Toleka are researching samples of mosquitoes, which were captured using our drones. As many of you may already know, there have been several swarms of millions of those insects bashing several areas on Earth, among them India and Argentina, and it is suspected to be the result of genetic manipulation by the best-known villain, who surely is among those in contact with the autochthon detachment, as I mentioned above. We don't know this for sure, but it is quite easy to conclude it is so. The preliminary results of the lab tests, which are not concluded yet, are that they have been grown in a laboratory, as they do not have any of the natural biochemical traces in their bodies, which indicate that they grew in the wild. We are now assessing what they are meant for, and if they are toxic to consume for frogs, birds, and fish, among any other Earth animal species, who consume mosquitoes as part of their diet. We suspect that they may be used as genetically engineered, miniature flying syringes, to inject something into people against their will. We will keep you informed. Moving on to other news, Toleka is still under extensive repairs, mostly for her 12 engines. She was in great need of service, as she has been operating here in deep space for nearly a decade now. It was either servicing her here, difficult and taking a lot of time, or retreating her back to Tema. We chose not to leave our post here. Therefore our main service and supply ship, Saska 1, is still here, docked side by side with Toleka, as she is also a deep space service station for ships. Yesterday, February 27, 2024, Saska 1's sister ship, which is of the same class, and nearly identical, called Saskek 2, arrived from Tema with supplies for the Taygetans, and with spare parts. She will remain here until Sunday, March 3rd. As I've explained before, some of us here cannot consume Taygetan food, making us completely dependent on what Earth has to offer, yet most of the crew here is fully Taygetan, and depends on their food only. Saskek 2 docked with Toleka on the starboard side, opposite to where Saskatchewan is, and proceeded to unload its supplies, with no further incident to be reported. Among the things Saskatchewan brought here are 2 new Super Suzy Mark 6 fighter ships, the missing ones we have been waiting for since the end of December, and which finally arrived yesterday after being completed in the construction shipyard in Tema. Only the ships arrived, brand new ones, but with no pilots, as they will replace the remaining obsolete fighter-class ships here, which will be taken back to Tema for other assignments and duties. They will be flown by the same pilots we have here, who are Salafile, Kaal'el, Athena Swaruu, Azrael, Ta'el and Aiden, as you already know. This is part of Alanim's efforts to equip Toleka with state-of-the-art fighter ships, in case they may be needed, as you may imagine. And this includes something like an homologation of fighter-class starships, where spare parts and maintenance will be basically the same among all the ones in the fleet, being that there are only 2 different engines among all those ships now, the ones of the Suzy-class fighters, and those larger ones of the Super Suzy new class. Only 2 scimitar, older class starships will remain here. Today, February 28th, is Keela's birthday here, and we are preparing a party for him. This brings me to let you know that all birthdays here are calculated as best as possible, using star maps, but are never really accurate. We only observe birthdays because they are a nice festivity to celebrate the existence of a loved one, and this is an example of human influence on us. We fully accept having a lot of human influence here, but not all of us, mostly the ones who were down there for a few years or who had a lot of contact with humans. We have a foot on each world, although most people here are full Taygetans who have a hard time even beginning to understand humans and their society. And once more, I must say that we are more people like you. The dates we have either chosen as our birthdays, or were calculated to be so, as best as possible, are the next, but I will only mention here the most immediate people and not the entire list. February 28th for Keela, March 2nd for Kaal'el and Athena Swaruu. March 8th for Sophia Yaji Swaruu, and my birthday was moved from that same date, to May 8th, as it is the date registered in the identity card I had, when I was walking among humans down there, a few years ago. Alanim observes April 4th as her human-based birthday, and September 1st as her stellar birthday. And Nishera observes September 8th as her birthday. As a last note, I want to thank you all again for your support and donations. I really need them as what YouTube gives me is not enough to feed myself, Yaji and Athena, and all the Earth-dependent people here, including all other necessary things, such as movement money, for when something must be done on the surface of the planet. I hugely appreciate your efforts. You are life changers, and you are helping us much more than what you can imagine. Thank you, my friends. So this will be all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you here next time. Take care. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.